It is a great satisfaction to greet you, and I hope you find yourself well. In today's video we will talk about the following. How to let go of your ex that you still love. This is a day in which we will talk about how to let go of your ex that you still love or continue to love. Many people who visit sites like ours are not necessarily focused on letting go of their ex, they are more interested in getting their ex back. Let's start. 1. The indefinite no contact rule. Everyone these days extols the virtues of the no contact rule after a breakup, a notion that certainly holds true today. But if your main goal is to let your ex go, the standard no contact rule might not be the most effective strategy. Instead, I suggest transitioning to an indefinite no contact rule, essentially cutting off all communication with your ex. The logic behind this approach is based on understanding the physiological changes that occur in your body during a breakup. Going through a breakup triggers a variety of responses in your body, one of the most notable being an increase in cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. By communicating with your ex you can induce a continuous state of stress. 2. Block your ex on social media. Yeah, I'm not going to beat around the bush today. I actually think that today's day and age is actually the hardest day and age to go through a breakup. I mean, can you imagine what it was like maybe many years ago to go through a breakup when the ideal way to communicate with was through letters? You didn't have to see what your ex was doing on those days. You would send a letter if you wanted to talk to him or her. You know, there were no text messages. There were no smartphones. Now, if your cortisol levels are elevated and you're incessantly checking social media to see what your ex is up to, social media platforms identify your interest and give you more insight into that person's content. We have found that people in the post-breakup phase struggle to maintain self-control. This is why I think it would be wise to block your ex on social media. This step could help stabilize your cortisol levels. Of course, you always have the option to unblock your ex at a later date. 3. You must do an audit of your motivations. This concept is especially relevant to people who may exhibit codependent tendencies. Conducting an audit essentially means going introspect and determining who had control over your life. I mention this because most people display anxious tendencies and we see codependency issues in their relationships. It is crucial to recognize that you may have been in a codependent relationship where your needs were not prioritized. The best way to do this is to evaluate who was at the center of your life. Ideally, you should have others revolve around you, or at least have an equal partnership within someone else's solar system. However, we found out that you are orbiting in your ex's environment, and when your ex doesn't like you anymore, being kicked out of that environment can be quite painful. Recognizing whether you have codependent tendencies prepares you for the next step, which is to confront these tendencies effectively. 4. Find something that matters to you as much as your ex. The next step is to identify something that matters to you more than your ex. The goal is to encourage you to change your approach to your ex by setting overall goals for each category. Ideally, you would have a major goal for your health. For some, this could be playing a sport, while for others, it could be losing weight. Your goal of building wealth generally revolves around your financial aspirations, such as earning a certain annual income. If you notice codependent tendencies and have a hard time letting go of your ex, it may be beneficial to find an important goal that matters to you as much as he or she does. 5. Create a support system. If you lack a strong support system, you will often lack the accountability necessary to see things through to the end. So what does an effective support system look like? In my opinion, you need 2 elements. A best friend. A community. A best friend or confidant, someone who will stand by you without hesitation and offer support, even if he doesn't necessarily agree with your decisions. Many people who come to us are striving to get their ex back. Often, their friends and family, their firm confidants, are not in favor of them trying to get their ex back. Sometimes these friends are right. One should not attempt to rekindle a relationship with someone who is abusive or narcissistic, and we have put preventative measures in place to avoid such scenarios. These people are there to ensure that you stay true to your mission of letting go. You can find a community in various places. It can be Reddit, or your group of friends can serve the same purpose. Sometimes, they could even be your parents. You are an essential part of what we do on this channel. For For this reason, we keep an eye on what you need, and if it is your desire to recover your ex correctly and effectively, you must click on the link below.